Although this is not my normal shooting environment, here I am on top of the highest building in the world in Dubai, and I'm here in Emirates to do an exhibition in a couple of days in Sharjah at the Exposure Festival, and Hasselblad let me borrow this X1D for a couple of days to try it out. And normally I travel with the H60, which is a lot bigger camera, and I wanted to see if this can perform just as good as that one. So let's see how it goes. I decided to go to the desert to test it out. The design, ergonomics and interface is great, but it took me some time to get used to the electronic viewfinder, being used to the big bright one from the H60. I noticed that a lightweight form factor allowed me to shoot a lot more handheld without getting shaky results. The autofocus worked well for most times, but you could easily change to manual focusing just by the click of a button. It was a pretty windy day out there, so I had to bring out the tripod in the end. And here you can see some of the test shots from the desert. At the photo festival in Sharjah, where I had my exhibition, they had built up a huge water tank for an underwater shooting demonstration, but they also gave me some time to try it out as well. I didn't have an underwater housing for my X1D, so I had to shoot from outside the tank. I pressed the lens against the glass and had a black fabric behind me to avoid any unwanted reflections from the glass. It gave me a chance to shoot in a more studio-like situation with the camera connected to the computer. Nothing to complain about here, and it worked just as good as shooting tethered with my H60. These images will be used for an upcoming project I'm working on, and you'll see the result of that sometime in the beginning of 2018. I heard both good and bad about this camera in previous reviews. Maybe it was released a bit too soon, but with the recent firmware updates, it worked out really well, and even the battery lasted surprisingly long for Hasselblad. It's not an action camera, but I'm surprised by how well it performed when you give it some time. I tested it with a 45mm lens side by side with my H60 50mm lens, and I can't really see a difference. Maybe it's not really so strange, since both cameras has the same sensor and super sharp lenses. The image quality is, like expected, amazing, and it's not only the resolution and crispiness, but also the feel of the colors. The image quality in such a small package is hard to beat if you have the time to compose and focus your scene. I personally like to have an optical viewfinder, so I wouldn't really replace my H60 yet. But it's a great camera for when weight and portability is important and you have a bit of time to plan your shoot. I've uploaded a bunch of raw files that I shot, so you can judge for yourself. Now it's time for me to send this baby back to Hasselblad, but I might rent it for times when I need a more portable solution.